What's up, ladies and gents? I'm going to do yet another top 10 list. I know I said I was going to have a Happy Birthday to Me review up, but didn't get to watch it today, and I'm just having a little bit of time to record this video. Also, I wanted to let you guys know before I get into the top 10, Happy Birthday to Me, after considering it a couple times, not going to review it yet. But come December 13th, which is my birthday, I'll have that review up for you, because it's a birthday movie. I'll have another slasher movie review up for you probably tomorrow, day after, something like that. I'm going to try to do as many of these as I can. But right now, we're going to jump straight into my top 10 John Carpenter films. John Carpenter's my favorite director. He's been such an influence on me. I've loved pretty much every movie I've seen of his. The only ones I'm not really liked that much have been, let's see, Ghosts of Mars. That's pretty much it. I haven't seen all of his films. I have maybe one or two that I haven't watched yet. But besides that, I've seen pretty much the entire catalog, and these are just what I think are the best of his movies. So, let's go ahead and dive in here into number 10, which is Assault on Precinct 13. This is the Scream Factory Blu-ray. Fantastic edition, by the way. Assault on Precinct 13 is cool because it's a great cop movie. It's a great siege movie. It's a great crime movie, great action movie, and almost a horror movie. Pretty much, this is a combination of there was a movie with John Wayne that was a siege movie. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it's that mixed with Night of the Living Dead. But yeah, this is basically a version of Night of the Living Dead, but with Mexicans and other minorities in a group of gang members who want revenge on the police, so they start attacking police stations. And here's the thing. Assault on Precinct 13 is rather timely nowadays. If you've noticed a lot of the bad news that's going on lately, attacks on police officers and stuff like that are on the rise. It's horrible. And then police retaliation as well, and police brutality, also horrible. But Assault on Precinct 13 seems to become more timely as time goes on. Certainly it was timely when it was made, but it just continues to become more timely. And the social commentary that's in here, not much, there's not a whole lot of it, but the social commentary that is in here still is relevant today. I would definitely recommend checking this movie out. It's very, very good. Fantastic, very easy score on here too. Very simple, very easy, but sounds fantastic. So, definitely check out Assault on Precinct 13. And then, even at just the second movie that's going to be on this list, I know that I'm going to get some backlash. And that is going to be with my number 9 here, which I don't have on Blu-ray because there's not a really good Blu-ray out of this yet, but Escape from L.A. Yes, I know. There are a ton of people who really dislike this movie. They think it's basically a bad version of Escape from New York. I dig it. The score is great on this. There's great comedy. The special effects aren't so good. That's really the only bad thing about this movie, I think, some of the special effects. The dialogue's good. The characters are fantastic. I love Kurt Russell here. Kurt Russell gets to surf with Peter Fonda. And I don't know, it's funny, it's cheesy, it's a great action movie, it's got social commentary, but yet again is still sort of timely. It's got a crappy tagline, Snake is back, but whatever. There's lots of commentary about Los Angeles, the people who are in Los Angeles, stuff like that. It's just a good movie, I think. I think you guys really need to check this out. Reevaluate it. It's awesome. It's got great action sequences, great dialogue, and, I don't know, Snake Plissken, man. So good. Definitely the best sequel that John Carpenter has ever made. I think he may have... This may actually be the only one that he's made himself. I know he was involved in Halloween 2 and 3, and maybe those movies are better than that one, but still. It's a darn good movie, I think. And my number 8 pick is another Scream Factory Blu-ray. Thank you, Scream Factory, for putting out all these really good Blu-rays of John Carpenter movies, but John Carpenter's Body Bags. Now, not all 3 segments of this anthology film were directed by John Carpenter, but John Carpenter, who you can see on the front here, stars as the wraparound introducer kind of Tales from the Crypt Keeper kind of guy. The coroner. He stars as this character. And he directs 2 out of the 3 segments, as well as the wraparound segment, I believe. And it's really him that puts this idea forward. And it's him that makes this movie good. It's so, so good. Although I will say that his 2 segments do pale in comparison to the 3rd segment directed by Tobe Hooper. His 2 segments are also really fantastic, and the first segment's just a great slasher movie. The second segment is a wacky, out-of-this-world sci-fi flick. All the acting's great in here. The score is fantastic. I love listening to the score. And yeah, effects are great. Everything is really good in this movie, and I think it's a very underrated kind of anthology film that if you haven't seen, you ought to check out. Check out Body Bags. Body Bags is freaking awesome. Number 7 on my list, and this is where they get more concrete. These last 3 sort of might switch around with stuff like Dark Star and In the Mouth of Madness and stuff like that. But the rest of these, concrete, this is pretty much where they stay. They Live, and I've got the Scream Factory DVD, not Blu-ray. I wish I had the Blu-ray, but at the time I got this, all I had was a DVD player. So I'll probably rebuy the Blu-ray and probably even keep the DVD. But yeah, They Live, fantastic horror film. Well, not just horror film, action movie, sci-fi movie, social commentary, satire. This is everything. This is a fantastic movie. If you haven't seen it, you really ought to. Rowdy Roddy Piper does fantastic in here. Why he can't do just as well in any other movie, I don't know. Probably has something to do with John Carpenter. But, very good movie. The late Rowdy Roddy Piper is amazing in this. Keith David is fantastic. The special effects are great. Oh my gosh, they're so, so good. Everything is very, very good in this movie. It's funny. It's got creepy moments. It is timely, yet again. The social commentary here is just as relevant today as it was back then. Although I believe that perhaps the political aisles have changed, and it is now the opposite of what is depicted here, who are the they in the movie. But yes, fantastic flick. You've got to check it out. It's an 80s classic, cheesy, but also very legitimately good. Give it a check out. Okay, next we have the Columbia Pictures Blu-ray of John Carpenter and Stephen King's Christine. This is the movie that he got after he was kicked off of Firestarter, another Stephen King picture, because The Thing didn't do well. But Christine, for basically being a movie that John Carpenter went through the motions of, that he made pretty much in a depression, it's still a really great movie. Entertaining, great characters, comparable to the book as far as quality is concerned, great special effects, good kills in the movie, kind of even creepy. He somehow makes a car rather creepy. I don't know. And I don't know, it's a cool car. It's got a great soundtrack. Not just the John Carpenter music, but also the rock music they play in the background. Very, very good. Yeah, very good movie. Fantastic cinematography as well. I really like the cinematography in this one. The way that Christine is filmed, so good. So, so good. And, let's see. Getting into the top 5, John Carpenter's classic 1980 ghost killer something film, The Fog. Very, very good movie. Underrated. People don't give this movie enough respect. It's one of Jamie Lee Curtis's best performances when she was still the Scream Queen. It's got Adrienne Barbeau in there. You've got Tom Atkins in there. You've got Hal Holbrook in there. How can you not like this movie? It's too good. Fantastic cinematography, great soundtrack by John Carpenter, good writing. Everything is so, so good in here. Special effects are great. Rob Bottin does the special effects here. You've got you got Tommy Lee Wallace as a character in the movie. You've got Chuck Cyphers in here as well. Everything is so, so good in here. I feel like I just say that over and over about John Carpenter movies, but it's very good, and also very good Blu-ray. If you can pick up the Scream Factory Blu-ray of this, definitely do so. And then we have number 4, his 1981 classic, Escape from New York. Escape from New York is the perfect action movie. It's my favorite action movie, well, next to another film that's on this list. It's just about a perfect action movie. It's got suspense, thrills, it's even got some scares in there. It's, I don't know, it's just a good movie. Kurt Russell's fantastic in here. 10 times better than Escape from LA, though I still do like Escape from LA. Social commentary in here, yet again timely. Adrienne Barbeau, just so many good actors in here. The score is possibly my favorite John Carpenter score, just so, so good. So fun to listen to. Oh, babe. Oh, man. It's just too good. I can't say any more about Escape from New York. Number 3 on the list here is my favorite John Carpenter film that's not a horror film, and it is the wonderful Big Trouble in Little China. One of my favorite comedies. Just such a good movie. I don't know. Kurt Russell's fantastic in here. Kim Cattrall's great in here. Yeah, it's just good. I can't say much about Big Trouble in Little China. I'd have to rewatch it and just do a big, 50-minute review of it or something, but such a good movie. So, so good. Great action, great comedy. It's a gonzo movie. If you haven't seen this, you need to check out Big Trouble. It's just too good to miss. And then I'll go on to my number 2, which is another movie that you really don't have any words for, because it's too good. The Thing. Just no words. So, so good. Cinematography's great. The music's great by Ennio Morricone and John Carpenter. He isn't credited, but Carpenter does a lot of stuff here as well. Kurt Russell's great in it. The entire cast is fantastic. The way they mesh together is just like they're old friends. Yeah. The Thing is just amazing. It's my number 6 favorite horror film. Maybe it's number 7, something like that. It's in my top 10. It's a great, great horror film, and looking at it objectively without any other prejudices, this is the best horror film of the 80s, and possibly it's up there, probably top 3 greatest horror films ever made. If you're being totally objective to this. It's just so fantastic. And I showed it to some friends and they were slightly underwhelmed. I don't really know why, but I don't know. Times have changed. Times have changed. And let's go ahead, having said that, and talk about a movie that time has changed not at all. A movie that I think is still scary, still fantastic, and still influential. Halloween. I'm just lifting up the box set because it's easier to do that than get out like the individual Blu-ray. My favorite version of this is the extended television cut that was put in this box set, as well as another box set that had the Michael Myers mask with it. Very good box set, by the way. It's my favorite horror franchise. And until recently, it's been my favorite horror film, uncontested. Right now, it's tied with another movie that I will possibly review later on. But yeah, Halloween is amazing. It's such a good movie. It's one of the most influential movies on me and on cinema ever. It's got fantastic characters. The direction is flawless. The cinematography is flawless. The art direction, even, I think, is flawless. Everything is so good about this movie. It is the perfect slasher film. And that's why I wanted to do it during Summer of Slash. I will not be reviewing Halloween and Summer of Slash because it's not a summer movie. But, let me put this over here. Halloween is definitely the movie that made the slasher movie a phenomenon. It is what made slasher movies into what they are today, what they were in the 1980s and late 70s. And if it weren't for Halloween, we wouldn't have a movie that is celebrating its 20th anniversary this year, Scream. Yet another one of my favorite horror films. Halloween has just been so influential on our culture and on the way that we view horror today. Horror would not be the same today if it were not for Halloween. Halloween took what Psycho did for film and for horror films in particular, and took it to perhaps a de-evolved level, but at the same time elevated it to a more commercial, more powerful pop culture phenomenon. And Halloween has just been one of the greatest films of all time for me. It's just so good. So good. But yeah, Halloween is my number one John Carpenter film. That has been my John Carpenter top 10. Hope you guys enjoyed this longer than 17-minute video. It's probably going to end up being longer than 18. But yeah, this is a little bit of an interruption of even the beginning of Summer of Slash. But for the most part, we're going to be doing slasher movies. I think the next slasher movie I do will probably be The Town That Dreaded Sundown, which is a very good 70s slasher film from the great Charles B. Pierce of Legend of Boggy Creek fame. So, hope you guys enjoyed this. Rock on. If you like, subscribe. Talk to you later. And thanks for watching. Bye.